Hi everyone, I'm Jo and welcome to Pass the Popcorn. Everyone loves a rom-com. It's like the perfect go-to for a Friday night where you want a happy ending and you don't want to think too much. Netflix's commitment to the genre in recent years has brought a rom-com renaissance to our screens. Always Be My Maybe, Someone Great, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Nowadays there's so much good content that's only a click away. So while we wait for Noah Centineo to release his next Netflix film, which knowing him won't take long, here are my top 5 rom-coms of all time to add something to your watch list. Now, before I start my countdown, I want to shout out to some honourable mentions. They didn't make my top 5, but they are very deserving of a watch. Bridesmaids, Bridget Jones' Diary, and Legally Blonde all feature hilarious leading performances from Kristen Wiig, Renee Zellweger, and Reese Witherspoon. If you ignore the questionable gender politics of Crazy Stupid Love, Love Actually, and 500 Days of Summer, these movies are also a lot of fun. Finally, Miss Congeniality, Clueless, and The Proposal were all so close to hitting my top 5, and definitely worth your time. So, without further ado, may I present my top 5 rom-coms of all time. Coming in at number 5 is one of the classics, Notting Hill. When William, an awkward British bookshop owner, runs into one of the most famous movie stars in Hollywood, literally, an inevitable romance ensues. It's a very familiar tale of star-crossed lovers that we've all seen before. Are they soulmates, or are their worlds just too different to be together?
I live in Notting Hill, you live in Beverly Hills. Everyone in the world knows who you are. My mother has trouble remembering my name.
All the classic hallmarks of a rom-com are there, including a supporting cast of William's hilarious friends, and a finale that includes William racing against the clock to make a public declaration of his love before it's too late. Julia Roberts is charming as always, and Hugh Grant is on good form playing the character he always plays. Bumbling, posh, adorable white boy who's bad at expressing his emotions. Number 4, we have an unlikely rom-com that involves the main character being in a coma for most of the film. But trust me, it works. The Big Sick is an indie darling that made a lot of noise after its premiere at the Sundance Film Festival. Written by husband and wife, Kumail Nanjiani and Emily Gordon, this autobiographical romance is one of those true stories that sounds so crazy it can't be made up. When Kumail, an Uber driver and struggling comedian, playing himself, and Emily, a university student, played by Zoe Kazan, fall in love, it isn't smooth sailing. Firstly, Kumail's family are a very traditional Pakistani family who expect him to marry another Pakistani girl and are trying to set him up in an arranged marriage.
Who that could be?
I'm guessing it's a young single Pakistani woman.
This is Zubeda.
Secondly, Emily becomes sick and goes into a coma about 1/3 into the film.
There's an infection. We put her in a medically induced coma.
The bulk of the film is about Kumail trying to choose between the woman he loves and his family obligations, while also trying to win over Emily's family, who aren't exactly fans of him. The writing of this film is so witty, and it's a really heartwarming film about being torn between family obligation and following your heart. Definitely worth a look. Next we have, you guessed it, Mamma Mia. I don't know if this technically counts as a rom-com since the main couple are together from the start, but I mean the entire premise is a musical about a wedding, one-night stands and summer love, and that's about as corny as rom-coms get. The most important element of any rom-com is the fantasy. We want to believe that one day we might just bump into Heath Ledger or Ryan Gosling or Chase Crawford or Ryan Reynolds or Liam Hemsworth or Noah Centineo or Henry Golding or Colin Firth and... I'm sorry, I was getting off track. Basically, we want to pretend just for 90 minutes that these gorgeous, stunning boy next door types will run into us on the street and sweep us off our feet. And that's what makes Mamma Mia so much fun. Our main character, Sophie, is literally singing and dancing on a Greek island where everyone is shirtless and she gets to marry Dominic Cooper. Don't even start me on the sequel, where they get the kind of attractive men in their 50s and then recast them as really attractive men in their 20s. Young Bill, you will always have my heart. Coming in at a close second place, we have far and away my favourite thing that Netflix has ever created, Set It Up. This movie really feels like an ode to classic rom-coms. It's set in New York, you've got the textbook rom-com situation where the couple start out hating each other and then they become friends, and then, well, you'll just have to watch to find out. The plot is pretty simple. Harper, played by Zoe Deutsch, and Charlie, Glenn Powell, are both PAs to tyrannical, high-powered business people, played by Lucy Liu and Taye Diggs. Harper and Charlie decide that their bosses are so mean because they're lonely, and therefore they concoct a plan to set them up, so that they will both be happier and therefore nicer to their assistants.
The two of them are always in this office. Let's just lock them in a room together so they can have sex with each other. When they're boning, we're free. We need the people, these two seats, to make out.
The premise comes with exactly as many shenanigans as you'd expect.
We're full-on parent trapping.
No, we're not.
Okay, I think I've seen the Lindsay Lohan classic enough times to know that we're full-on parent trapping hard.
And as you can expect, all that time scheming together makes Harper and Charlie realize that, maybe they want to be more than just friends. It's a really funny, feel-good movie, made so good by the charisma of the leading couple. This one's on Netflix now, and you do not want to miss out. And for number 1,
you're just too good to be true.
I couldn't make a best rom-coms list without including this 1999 classic. It's 10 Things I Hate About You. This movie has everything you could want in a romantic comedy. A coming-of-age story, an intelligent modern Shakespeare adaptation, a foul-mouthed Julia Stiles, and most importantly, a gorgeous young Heath Ledger in his prime. In a very witty adaptation of Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew, Kristen Smith and Karen McCullough successfully transport Shakespeare's tale of loves, lies, and scheming to a 1990s American high school. Basically, a lot of complicated plot stuff happens that means that Cameron, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, pays bad boy Patrick, Heath Ledger, to seduce Kat, Julia Stiles, so that Cameron can then date Kat's sister Bianca. Her strict dad won't let the younger girl date until the older, less popular one does. It's all very Shakespearean and patriarchal. As these plots always go, fake love turns into real love, and there the trouble starts. This cast, undeniably the best part of the film, is full of comedic talent. Julia Stiles is in her element as the sharp-tongued Kat, while still managing to bring a vulnerability to her performance. Heath Ledger is dripping with charisma as the charming rebel who's not afraid of Kat. His public serenade to Frankie Valli's Can't Take My Eyes Off of You, in front of the entire school marching band included, still ranks as one of the best rom-com moments ever. Smart, witty, and very funny, this rom-com is definitely one of the best.
I hate it. I hate the way you're always right. I hate it when you lie. I hate it when you make me laugh. Even worse when you make me cry. I hate it when you're not around and the fact that you didn't call. But mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Not even at all.
So there you have it. My top 5 rom-coms of all time. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments and stay tuned for my next video.